But that Notre Dame Florida State game, which we just talked about, was just one of those, hey, first to 100 on your mark, get set, go. Double overtime thriller.
I was tired watching it, and I don't know how they're feeling today. We're going to get to ask Anna DeWolfe right here in a second when she joins us, because two OTs, a lot of these young ladies played 40-plus minutes of the game. Yeah. I would love to know what they're...
And there's Anna rubbing her eyes, knowing that, hey, I'm exhausted still, and it's a Monday afternoon. We just got done playing yesterday. Anna, thanks for joining us. We're just talking about, games like this. Taylor was exhausted watching it. What's it like playing in a little double overtime when you're going up and down the floor with, again, first to 100 wins?
Yeah, no kidding. It was definitely a back and forth game and a lot of fun, fast paced. It was in the moment. I didn't really notice like how long we really were playing, but when I went to media after the game, like I saw that some of us had played over 40 minutes. I was kind of like, wow, like in the moment you don't like think of that, but when you look back at it, it was like, oh my goodness, I don't know how we did that.
What is the plane like on the way home? I saw you did a short little interview. KK Bransford's been doing interviews with her teammates, and you did one, and then you guys take off. Does everyone just pass out after a game like this, or is it party on a Sunday plane?
Yeah, it's actually funny you asked that. When I got up actually in the middle of the game, in the middle of the plane, and I saw all my teammates were sleeping, and no one actually was talking. It was so quiet. Yeah, they were all really tired.
For you personally, this was a big game for you. Season high 24 points. And for people who don't know, you transferred in from Fordham to Notre Dame this year. What did you feel different yesterday? Because I know Coach talked about you after the game. She said, man, she just had confidence in this game, and you could see it. What did you feel out there on the court?
Honestly, I was just taking what the defense gave me. My teammates were finding me almost every possession. I think I just took what the defensive gave me and just really took my shots that were open.
What about this team, man? A big picture. I know injuries have been an issue, but it seems like you're getting healthy at the right time. Tons of confidence. A game like this one yesterday, Florida State's always tough to beat at their place, especially in a game that's going to be played in the 90s, which is their style. But what about the mindset of where this team is right now in the middle of February?
Definitely really confident. I feel like we needed to find our cohesiveness. I think that's where an area where we've struggled the most this year is just find our cohesiveness, like offensively and defensively. But I think that we're trusting each other, we're trusting our coaches, and I think that we're really confident going into the end of the season. And I think it just took a little bit of time to kind of know how we play with each other. We have a pretty new roster, or we did obviously coming into the season, but I think we're feeling really confident, especially going into the end of this season.
How would you describe the transfer from Fordham to playing at Notre Dame? I know we're halfway pretty much into February at this point, but what that was like for you in this entire process?
Well, my biggest thing when I was transferring was to find great people and I feel like my whole life I've kind of lived by putting great people in my corner, and when I was going through the recruiting process, that was the biggest thing for me. And obviously now I'm here at Notre Dame almost at the end of our season, and I definitely found that. I have another family, another home here at Notre Dame, and I couldn't ask for a better experience.
I mentioned the injuries a second ago. Everybody had to kind of step up, didn't they? I know we had Coach Ivey on, and she talked about how difficult practice was, given the fact they were just down so many bodies. But it also gives you an opportunity to figure out, hey, I can now wear 2 or 3 different hats for this team. What did you learn through that process? And now everybody kind of getting back to their natural position for February, March, and a deep run. What's that been like?
Obviously injuries you never want injuries in a season, but going into every game, and whoever's there is going to step up. Coach always says next man mentality type of thing, and just really stepping up when it matters, and whoever's up is going to have to play. So I think just having that mindset going into every game is definitely crucial.
You just mentioned Coach there, and she said in her post-game interview yesterday about you that your confidence was there yesterday, and it was just your night. It was your night to shine on that stage. How has she impacted you or pushed you this season in making that transition and becoming a better player?
Coach Ivey is amazing. All great things here, and I think that she brings out the best of every single one of her players, and I think going into every game knowing that your coach has your back on and off the court is so important. And I feel like just being here, I've been able to bring out the best part of me. And definitely kudos to her for that, because she believes in every single one of us. And when you're out on the court and you know you have a coach that believes in you, it just makes that much of a difference.
And obviously, when you go through the schedule and the position that we have sitting here each and every week, breaking down the games coming up on Thursday or in all likelihood on Sunday, we get excited because there's so many ranked versus ranked matchups in the league because the conference is so good. And I don't want to overhype games so much because it's just like, hey, you thought that was great. Watch what we have on Sunday. But I'm going to tell you something. This NC State Notre Dame thing on Thursday feels like a big deal. And I know it's just one game, one of many ranked versus ranked matchups, but it always gets a little bit bigger when we get into February and March is right around the corner and the ACC tournament sitting there and everybody's talking about the double bye and who's going to win the first place in the regular season. But this game Thursday does feel like it's got a little mojo to it, doesn't it? I suspect it does in your locker room as well.
For sure. I mean, I think you hit it right on the head. Like, this conference, every game matters. Every game is big. And obviously, this is a big one coming up on Thursday, but for rankings and standings. But we're going to attack the game like we attack every other game in the ACC. Just play Notre Dame basketball and be confident in who we are.
What's the difference about being at home? I mean, we keep talking about so many great home court advantages now in women's basketball, and you definitely have one. So what's it like coming through the tunnel at home, knowing that NC State's going to be there as well? It's going to be some kind of scene.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the home court advantage, you're just used to the rims. We practice there here when we're on campus a lot, get shots up there. So obviously you have an advantage there because you're there more than your opponent. But also our fans are great. Our fans are really into it. It's loud. But definitely the home court advantage helps a lot.
All right, since you're talking about attack earlier, first of all, your whole life playing basketball, and everyone, basketball players will tell you this. Like, if a player likes playing defense, they'll say, yeah, I like it. If they don't, they're like, listen, I don't really like it, but I kind of have to do it if I want to see the floor. Where are you on that scale defensively?
I think, well, at this level you have to play defense. So obviously, and coach holds us to that standard of having to play defense. I mean, obviously you see we're ranked, 1 or 2 or 3rd in scoring. So we like to score the ball, but you score that many points by getting stops on defense. And I think that's where coach really hones in on playing great defense and getting easy transition buckets. So you definitely have to play defense here at Notre Dame. So
whether you like it or not. With that being
whether
said,
you like it or not.
You guys had 15 steals. We just talked about the 24 turnovers Florida State had in that game against you guys, and that's a credit a lot to you guys and the way you play. But in that was 15 steals, and a large chunk of that goes to your young teammate in Hannah Hidalgo. And we've just enjoyed so much watching her play and really what she does defensively, averaging just over 5 steals a game, which leads the country, and that's insane. When you have a teammate who is doing that, what does it do for you as a player, and how infectious really is it? Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually really funny you bring that up because we were in the middle of the game yesterday, and one of our teammates was shooting a foul shot, and I said to Hannah, I was like, you need to pick it up defensively because you get us going. And she obviously responded really well to that. I think we ended up getting a steal the next possession. But, like, when you see her get up into someone, like, you want to do it as well. So, like, it's contagious, and it brings everyone else up. And so I think her understanding that and the impact that she has on everyone around her, like, is really crucial in our success defensively.
You know, we had your teammate Maddie Westbeld on the show last week, and we discussed with her that quick turnaround when you had the loss at home, ironically, to Syracuse, and then at 48 hours later, you have to go to Yukon. Merry Christmas, right? Nobody wants to play Yukon on the road. But you did, and you won, and the way you won is kind of maybe a turning point, bringing this team even closer together. And did you get a sense that that game did have some momentum and could spark this group the rest of the way through February and March?
For sure. I think that game was really big for us and showed a lot about our character individually and as a team. Having a tough loss at home against Syracuse, like, we had one option. The only option was to going into Yukon confident and having nothing to lose and going in playing our game. And I think it really showed a lot about our team and our coaching staff. And we went right to work. Obviously, we watched Syracuse film and figured out what we needed to work on, and we changed it really quickly to go and beat Yukon at Yukon.
By the way, the statistic is that you guys have not lost back-to-back games since Coach Ivey's first year there at Notre Dame, which was 2020 to 2021. So obviously, you guys respond to everything she says, but that's a heck of a coaching job too. All right, we mentioned how you made this transfer move. Obviously, South Bend much different than New York and the Northeast. What's been the biggest difference between the two?
Wow. I love it here, no question. Just there's not much to do like there is in New York City. I will admit that, but definitely enjoy hanging out with my teammates and finding things to do around here, and just really relying on my teammates and enjoying our time together.
Still can't find a good bagel like you can in New York, though. Let's be
No.
honest, right? You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Wait, this is a
Or
good
pizza.
question.
or
Or
pizza.
pizza.
Exactly
Yeah,
right.
pizza's another big one that I miss.
I'm going to New York in like 3 weeks. And look, I can Google a good bagel. Do you have a bagel sandwich that you absolutely have to get in the city?
Goodness, I don't even remember the name. I remember I watched one of my old teammates at Fordham finish a marathon in the city, and we went to this one place. I'll get back to you on that one, but I
Okay.
can't remember the name of it. But it's unbelievable. It literally was
Okay.
the best bagel I've ever had.
Deal.
But
Well,
I'll definitely get back to you on that one.
Okay,
Well,
perfect.
where's your go-to place to get a slice?
Prince Street Pizza,
Prince Street.
100%, hands
Down in
down.
Soho.
It
Yeah.
It's in Soho. Yep, exactly. It is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
All right, taking notes.
I've spent way too much time in Soho, so I'm glad that you decided to take me down that path, because I was
Yep.
like, all right, if we're gonna find out what kind of answer you get on the pizza thing in New York. I mean, if you really know pizza, you'll come up with some spots. You can't.
Yeah.
beat
Do you
Prince.
agree with it?
Yeah, I
Do
do.
you agree?
Yeah, and Joe's is a traditional spot too, right around the corner. It's not too far, but Prince Street's great. Soho is fantastic. I mean, for almost
is.
anything, for that matter. I know you miss that part. I know you do.
For sure.
South Bend is cool
Yeah.
too, for sure.
By the way,
Yeah.
when we had Maddie on the show, she was bragging it was like 65 degrees in South Bend, and people were walking around in short. Is it still springtime in South Bend?
It's actually funny. Today I woke up and it was like 25 degrees. I was like, I can't do this whole up and down thing. Either be cold and stay cold, or be warm and stay warm. So tomorrow it'll probably be 50 somehow.
Well, I know this much.
Fact.
It's going to be about 116 degrees in South Bend, Indiana this Thursday, because NC State and Notre Dame just feels like an Elite Eight, Final Four kind of thing. It really does. It's going to be a great basketball game. Can't wait to see it.
For sure.
We wish you the best. We appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you so much for having me.